Hi, everyone. Welcome to Writing for Media. This is our course intro and syllabus overview, where I'll talk you through how the course will go and explain a little bit about assessment models and what you can expect. I'm your instructor, Danielle Ferrari. I'm a PhD candidate in the School of Communication and Information, otherwise known as SCI. I was an art writer for an online journal called Art Slant, covering art in Turkey and Eastern Europe before I started my PhD here at Rutgers. I also have a background working in social media management and have worked on longer term podcasts over the years, doing longer format news work, kind of like magazine style reporting. So, our required textbooks for this course are the Oxford published Writing and Reporting for the Media, and we are specifically working with the enhanced ebook of the 13th edition. You'll find a link for this in your resources in our course Canvas page, and they have it at the bookstore and in the library if you happen to be on campus. And I have links posted for where you can also buy or rent the ebook. You can purchase these or rent them. That's totally fine. We have such a short semester. I recommend renting. For the first week, the reading is posted in the module as a PDF as well. So you have a little time to figure this out before you can get the book. So we have things available to you that way. But it's important to try and get a copy of this enhanced ebook because we're going to be doing some assignments in it. If neither of those options of renting or buying work for you, please let me know if you're also off campus and you don't have access, and we'll figure something out. Additionally, we're also going to be using the Associated Press style book. Again, this is also available online, and I have links to that. And I believe there's even a free version. Let me know if you have any issues gaining access to any of these things, because we are going to need them through the course. So please don't try to skate by without them without letting me know you have trouble. So, Writing for the Media is an introductory level writing course for undergraduate students designed to help you build a skill set in journalism from the ground up. So, over the course of this semester, students will learn basic rules of grammar. You'll be schooled in the official style used by the Associated Press, which is the standard for journalism, and you'll gain some interviewing skills as well. And we'll also be analyzing a lot of current media, so you'll get some practice in that too. Some of you may have already taken my Intro to Media section or someone else's, or maybe taking that concurrently, so there'll be some crossover there a little bit as well. You'll be learning how to write articles, data journalism pieces, press releases, do some social media campaigns, and work on broadcast news articles. There's also a possibility, if people are interested, that I could include for you an assignment on culture reviews, so art or film or something like that, if that's something you guys would be interested in. By the end of this course, you should be able to identify and analyze characteristics and style of various forms of media, print-based and digital. You should be able to research, write, and edit content for diverse forms of media writing, including PR and data journalism, and like I said, possibly culture writing if that's something you're interested in. And you'll have some practice in learning to write clearly and accurately with focus, energy, and hopefully develop a specific voice for yourself, and how to gear things for certain audiences, and get some practice in appropriate writing style and AP format, and practice in writing conventions. And at the end, you should be able to showcase some artifacts of media writing that purposely blends text and graphical content that can be used as you build your portfolio as a journalist. So, course content. You will be responsible for reading from your textbook every week. There will be something, a chapter that you should be looking into, possibly two, because we are in a very tight summer semester. You will also be given other articles to introduce you to different genres and styles of writing for media. There'll be examples. Our opening week, we have some old stuff all the way back from 9/11. We have different ways of thinking about writing that we're going to be looking at together. You will additionally have videos, because I'm a big believer in engaging with different kinds of media. There are some really great resources that are out there on YouTube from currently existing broadcast media, other sorts of media projects that have given us some really good insights in contemporary media writing styles and how to get good interviews, things like that. So you will get some great intel from those as well as the sort of more formal lectures. You will also have short lectures, Sometimes they're going to be from me, but a lot of times they're actually going to be from other teachers from the department who've been writing for a long time and who can give you some really good insights. And again, some of them will be from people on YouTube who are coming from the Associated Press or other existing news programs that have programs designed for helping young journalists get started. So just keep an eye out for all the content. I'm going to talk about this later in this quick little lecture for us, but you're going to always want to follow your module. Go to the modules page. Everything will be there. Do it in order. That's how you're going to handle your course content, okay? Do it step by step. We have 4 kinds of course assessments in this course. There's 4 categories. There are quizzes, which are going to be open book, open note, whatever they are. They're online. They're an opportunity for you to exercise some practices on things like grammar. They're small, they're quick. There are discussion boards. Discussion boards are super critical. They're how you are going to know me and your classmates and keep up to date on what you're learning in your reading and put it into practice every week while you're building your major and minor writing assignments. Major writing assignments are the bread and butter. They are the big thing of this course. You're going to be writing 5 different pieces over the course of this semester. And one of them will be the most developed because you will need to be doing interviews for your first one. So that's what we're getting started on in the beginning. And then you will additionally have minor writing assignments, which are practice assignments to build the skills that you need for the major writing assignments as you're gearing up to do those different parts of your major writing assignments. You won't have a major writing assignment every week, but it's going to feel like that because there's 5 of them, but they're broken down into parts. So just make sure that you understand that there's a lot of writing. Stay abreast of things. It's a lot of work. I know that this is a tight semester. Discussion board activities are participation-based activities. So that means that they are due when they are due and cannot be submitted late, and you will be engaging with one another. So you might be reading other people's short posts and responding to them. I might have you guys do small edits with each other. There will be one of these at least each week. You should expect them to be worth 4 points each, even though we have 6 weeks. The idea is that there's one that you will be allowed to skip, same as if we were in person. If you were to skip a single class of a 5 weeks or 6-week summer course, that's an allowable absence without any penalty. So your lowest discussion board grade will drop automatically from this course. These are going to be opportunities for you to build analytical skills and reflect on course materials and exercise them quickly. So you'll have things like turning a movie into a lead to practice lead writing. You'll be reading each other's and commenting on them. I might even have you guess things the point is that you should be using these as a way of building connections with your classmates and with me as we're developing throughout the course. In addition to quizzes and discussion posts, you will have a number of writing assignments. You will have both major and minor writing assignments throughout the course. These will be writing assignments and short exercises to help you build writing and grammar practices. Major assignments are going to essentially be writing pieces. Your first one will be done in multiple parts, so you'll have an opportunity to turn in a first draft and have it be edited. You'll even before that be turning in your source list, who it is you want to interview, notes from your interviews, etc. So you'll be building that with a number of steps with me and your classmates to give you some practice. After that, you'll be adjusting that piece by adding data journalism to it. So what I want you guys to think about throughout this semester is I want you to pick a topic that's going to be interesting to you. We refer to this in journalism a lot as a beat. So that means maybe you want to think about covering impacts on the university and from the current political regime. People have done all different kinds of things. I'm going to ask you guys to submit what you think you would like your beat to be this first week. And in that process, you'll be sort of figuring out what your next steps are going to be because you'll have your first major writing assignment. That piece is about getting good interview content by talking to people and using that interview content in the writing of a piece. And then you're going to add to that piece. So for instance, say you wanted to do a piece on changing policies around tobacco use on campuses, and you go talk to people who are making those decisions in the administration on the university, or you talk to health professionals on campus, or you talk to some students to give you some man on the street input. Then in your second piece, you would go back and you would find data, so academic studies that have statistics, whatever kind of data you want to use for that piece, that you would then rewrite the first piece to incorporate data. So you're going to make it a data journalism project. And then your next assignment will be to do a press release and then a social media assignment. Those go together. So it's a PR project and social media. So you're going to invent a client that you would have as a press agent and an event that you need to advertise, which you will do through a traditional press release style of writing, and also a social media post campaign, etc. Right? You will then finally do a major broadcast news assignment. You can turn your press release project or one of your first two stories, the major news writing assignment that has interviews, or the data journalism assignment piece, into a broadcast news assignment, where you're going to think about what it means to condense that for a 90-second spot for either radio or television, which has its own set of rules and conventions. And I know that might feel like, oh, this is going the way of the dinosaur. Like, broadcast isn't so much the important means of communication, which is totally understandable. And we are looking right now into changing the structure of this course. But unfortunately, I have to follow structures that have predated a lot of really critical changes in journalism. So I'm teaching you guys some older conventions for sure in this course, but I want you to be thinking about how that might be useful to you, regardless of the fact that these structures are shifting. Okay. In addition, you will have minor assignments that are worth 20% of your grade. And these are mostly smaller scale practice assignments where you're going to be practicing some of the grammar rules. These are more homework style, workbook style homework pieces where you might also do like a news writing practice where you get a whole bunch of information. Like, I'll give you one of these where what you'll get is basically raw interview data from somebody else's interview. So you'll get all of their interview information, and you'll need to structure that into something that functions in a inverted pyramid, traditional writing style model. You'll do things like converting, movie titles into leads. I think actually I've moved this to discussion for this semester. So you'll do that in a discussion board. So you'll get to read each other's because it's way more fun that way. But you will do some minor assignments for leads, and then you'll do something called a FOIA or an OPRA request, which is to give you the practice in understanding how you access publicly available information from federal and state agencies. It is a commonly used process for a lot of us in journalism when we're doing any kind of writing on state budgets or federal organizations or any of these things, because we, as journalists, should have access to these things. Everyday citizens have access to these things if they request them, if there isn't a conflict on national security or something like that. So the question is often a skill-based question of how well you know how to write a FOIA or OPRA request so that you are asking for the correct information in order to be able to get an answer. I will go through more descriptions on all of these assignments as we move through the semester. I will also have regular office hours for you to be able to ask these questions if you are concerned about any of this. And I really encourage people to come to office hours because the major assignments can be overwhelming and there's a lot to understand, and it can be helpful just to come talk to me and ask questions in person rather than trying to decipher it strictly from asynchronous online content. So here's a quick sample of a syllabus view. Now, this is from a longer semester, not a summer semester, so I apologize that it doesn't quite look exactly like what yours will, but the point is for you to see what your assignments will look like, that you have reading, you'll have video lectures to look at, again, sometimes from me, sometimes from other people. You'll have a discussion board, sometimes two, and then it'll tell you what assignments are due. I recommend, and I'm going to say this many, many times over, that you guys really base your understanding of what is due every week by spending time on the modules page. Please do not rely on the to-do list. Please do not rely on the automatic syllabus that's created by this course structure in Canvas. Go to your modules page, go in the order of the assignments because they are listed in the order that they should be done in order for you to build the most familiarity. You're going to always want to start with your readings, even if you just skim it first, and then you're going to watch your video lectures, and then you'll do the discussion boards. And at some point, it's really good to open the assignments and see what they are, even before you're doing the other things, so that you understand what you should be looking for when you're doing your reading, when you're watching your videos, so that when you then go back to do those assignments closer to their due date, it's not the first time you've seen it. You have had it in mind as you've been watching the other things. Okay? That's generally like a good policy to have in all college level courses, is to see what's due before you actually go through the process of reading and consuming lectures. Okay? So the module page is your best friend. Spend a lot of time there. The structure of our course is that assignments will always be due on Wednesday evenings, and the new module will open on a Thursday morning. So 11:59 on a Wednesday night is your deadline for everything. And then Thursday morning at 8 a.m. is when things are going to open. I know we're a little late this week. I'm so sorry for the confusion with the publishing of this course. So I've shifted everything to give you guys a little bit longer. We'll just run our course a little bit longer than it's technically supposed to be running. So a day or two that you'll have to turn things in. I'm also not a huge stickler about assignments at the end of the semester if it's a day or two here or there. But I am going to give you guys now a firm warning that especially the pieces that are process-based, so whether that's getting your source list into me of who it is you plan to interview or doing your interviews, any of these things, it is really critical that you do them on time because the rest of the course is built on those steps. So you will get penalized for those being late. In addition, and I've already sent this out in a message to you guys via announcements, please know that you cannot use AI in this course. Like, I am not arguing that AI is the devil or that it can't be useful for writing. I understand that sometimes it can. However, the whole purpose of this course is that you guys are really learning to build new skills for yourselves in understanding both how to write and critically how to edit your own writing based on feedback that you're given. This is important to you passing this class. You have to be doing these things as part of the practice of the course. I am not looking only at your final product. I am looking at how you do your work, right? It's the same as math. Like, this is a show your work kind of course. So it doesn't matter how perfect it turns out. If you use AI and you're not giving me all of the necessary steps of you going through the process of editing, it's not going to be able to be a good grade. So just know that, okay? If I can tell it's AI, I'm going to talk to you about it at least once. If you do it again, I will definitely penalize you. If you do it a third time, I will 100% have to report it. And that's just because this is the essence of what this course is, right? Is actually based in the process of writing. This is not focused on something else where the AI is kind of tangential to the issue. This makes sense, okay? Again, if you have any questions about that, come talk to me. Okay, that is the end of our course syllabus overview. If you still have any questions or concerns, please let me know. There are many ways you can do that. You can email me through Canvas. I really recommend that you do that rather than finding my email elsewhere and emailing me on my personal rutgers.edu account, because I am telling you that email is overloaded. And for a summer course like this, where I'm gonna be kind of inundated with other communications and other places, I will be really, really vigilant about checking this email through Canvas every single day. So use the inbox function in Canvas to communicate with me, okay? Please don't try to email me in another space. I won't necessarily see it. This is the smartest, fastest, best way to reach me, is through the inbox function. I will have office hours every single week. I will maybe even have them multiple times if you guys need them, especially when we're in the midst of deep major assignment writing. So what I want you guys to do is tell me what you need. If for some reason you can't make any of the usual times for student office hours, then I want you to tell me that and tell me what times you do have available, and I will find time to meet you. I know a lot of you guys are working and you have other commitments and summers are busy. So this is a big course. This is a lot of work to get done in a very short period of time. So we need to be in communication with each other. Don't disappear on me. Find a way to talk to me. It is basically a requirement that you come talk to me at some point during this course. If I never hear from you, I'm going to be worried. So either come to office hours our first week or send me a message so we can touch base as you're getting started on your assignments, okay? All right, I'm excited for you guys to write really cool things and see what you guys want to focus on. Great to meet you. I'm looking forward to reading everybody's introductions. Take care, guys. Have a good week.